Welcome everybody back to another episode of the Money Pot Podcast. I am the host. I am the CEO. I'm the president. They call me Moss Money. And we are back to talk about the AFC North. And I excuse the background. Okay. Went on the family vacation. I tried to make this happen. I got kids on me. Look at my pillow. Look at my background. My background is dope, though. My background is dope. You know what I mean? So got my dope dad shirt on. I'm in full dad mode, but I need to continuously give you guys what you need and what you want coming for this upcoming football season. And that is the future bets going through each division and seeing if we can find some value on our NFL future picks and plays. So today we're doing AFC North. We did NFC North last time. We really liked the Chicago Bears bet. But today we're looking at actually probably the best division in all of football in the AFC North. We're talking about the Cincinnati Bengals, Baltimore Ravens, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Cleveland Browns. So with that said, let's get into the picks and plays. Let's take a look at schedules. Let's take a win totals. Let's see if we can deep dive and find out the best plays for you guys and myself, because I'm betting with you. I wouldn't leave you hanging. I am betting with you to let you guys know about what plays to look at, what has some value, what makes sense, and what makes sense right now to actually bet. So going into our poll question, it makes sense to even start probably the cream of the crop, the best, what I think, in my opinion, is the best team in the division. They won the division 2 years. Did they win it when they went on a Super Bowl run? I know they were 10-7. Baltimore might have won it that year, but I know they won it last year. They've been to the AFC title game, I believe, 2 years in a row, and that's the Cincinnati Bengals. And it just goes with our poll question, which is brought to you by Fan Up. If you're not on Fan Up, you better get on board. Still doing DFS, MLB contests. Great prizes. Sign up today. Always using the promo code A2D Radio, 5,000 bonus points or $50. Do you agree or disagree here? The Cincinnati Bengals will win the AFC Championship. Agree or disagree? Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Holla at your boy. Let me know. Put it in the comments. Agree or disagree. Tell me what you guys thinking. I will let you know what I'm thinking and get right back to you. I'm going to bring up some of the sports books. I'll allow you to catch up with me on the stream. And if you're on the stream too, I see a couple likes. I see a couple loves. Appreciate, as always, the support. Go ahead and drop it, man. It costs, I say it all the time, it costs you nothing to hit a like button. It costs you nothing to retweet and share. I don't know why people are so kind of like weird about that for some reason, but just give back, right? Let's give back. Let's give back to each other. We're only going to win if we win together. Winning by yourself is boring. Trust me, it is boring. It ain't no fun. So let me know in the comments. Let me know what y'all talking. Let me bring up the the schedule. What the fuck? I don't know why it keeps doing that. The schedule and the sports book. So we're going to use FanDuel today. We usually use DraftKings, but I think FanDuel is a better book for some of these future bets that we're seeing right now with win totals and things like that. I'll get to your comments in a second. Hopefully you guys shared, hit the notification button, hit the subscribe button, man. If you ain't subscribing to Money Pot Betting, the Money Pot Podcast, man, you don't know what you're missing. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Because those who follow me on Twitter, whew, gas. That's all I got to say. I am on straight gas on Twitter right now. Money Pot Betting. Look it up. Look it up. So where am I? FanDuel. Okay. Got you coming up. Couple of here. What's up, bro? Mikey, what's good, man? Yo, Mike, we got to get together and talk wrestling, man. I'm an old school wrestling fan. And my son is into wrestling. I was in the building when The Rock versus Austin was in WrestleMania in Philly. So I am a super old school wrestling fan. And I know a little bit about today's new, but love talking to old school stuff. Mike, we got to get up, man, and talk some wrestling, bro. Kevin says, feel like the Ravens get it, but Bengals go farther. Yeah, so the when we'll break this down, but just to answer your take here is that pretty much the Ravens. We got to see what the Ravens can do. This is the best offense that Lamar's had. Lamar finally got paid, so we're going to see if Lamar Jackson is the real deal or not. I've always been a Lamar Jackson fan. A lot of people hate on Lamar, but I think that he's a special talent. He's been the MVP for a reason, unanimous MVP, by the way. So we'll see how that all shakes out with Lamar. All right. Let's start with those Cincinnati Bengals. Let's go with those win totals right now and see if it makes sense to make a bet here. Let me open this up just a little bit, and then let me zoom out just a tad. Let me see what that looks like. Let's bring this down. And then bring me down. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. All right, we'll do it without me in the screen. Okay. You guys can still hear me. You can still see me rock. We'll do it out with me screen, and I'll come back to it. But I only want to do it without the screen so you guys can see what we're doing here. So we'll look at the Cincinnati Bengals win total. So their win total is over 11 and a half. And what we typically do here is we go to, quick ESPN real quick and take a look at the schedule and see if we can get a look at what their schedule is going to look like. I feel like 11 and a half is low. I feel like their schedule is a little bit more lenient to them. They have a couple tough stretches here. But I think they should get out the gate really, really quick if you think about it. So let me get back to sharing on the let me see, what about this? That looks a little bit better. I like that. That takes away a lot of stuff up top, but we can do it like that. And then we'll zoom in just a little bit here. Playing with the controls live, baby. All right. So tell me what y'all see in terms of losses. And then tell me what y'all we're just gonna do losses. Since they got a high win total here, we'll just do losses. Bring up the schedule. Jake, I see you, boy. What's good? As always, appreciate you jumping on, my man. Chuck doesn't like me. I don't know, man. Chucks don't like me no more, man. I ain't do nothing to that, man. Oh well. All right. All right. So looking at the wins here. All right, let's look at the losses. I'm looking at the first 6 games. Find me a loss here. Right. Find me a loss. They split 1 or 2. You know, they're home. If that was in Baltimore for game 2, maybe I'd go with a loss with Baltimore at home. But at Cleveland, opening up, I think they beat Cleveland. Be a good test against them for Baltimore. Starting out with 2 division games, that's tough. So we'll say we'll split that, but everything else is a win to me. Seattle, maybe at Seattle, maybe. But I think Geno kind of regresses a little bit this year because he led the league in deep passes and all that shit. So I think he regresses just a tad this year. So give me the Bengals loss, Baltimore. Next loss, Buffalo, 2 losses. They beat Baltimore at Baltimore. I don't think they lose to Baltimore twice. They beat Pittsburgh. I'll give them a loss for Jacksonville. So that's 3 losses for Jacksonville. And then they lose to KC. So in my head, perfect world, this hits, they go 13-4, right? Which puts them well over well over their expected total of 11 and a half games, right? Over 11 and a half games. So this is a decent bet. The problem with these bets, unless you're betting heavy, you're going to wait 100. You're going to wait 16 games to win your $100. So say you want to just put $100 on here, like you only winning 110. So these are type of bets that you got to go a little bit heavy. I know for my bet small, win big folks, you might want to go a little bit, more in terms of like a parlay. And FanDuel does allow you to do that. But, this would be more of a heavy play, like a 3-4 unit play, more in the 4 units. I really like this play. It's an easy win. But what I would do here is that now this is a tough slate, but we would go to alternate wins and we'll see what they have for them on alternate wins. So obviously we're in the minus money here. So this is be a better bet, right? For them to get to 13 wins, which is what I had them 13-4. It's about 2-1. What they go last year? 12-4 last year. So they were kind of right there teetering. Offensive line should be a little bit better. We already know what this offense can do. They got Chase Brown in terms of adding to more of that offensive side. But their first 3 picks were defensive, if I'm not mistaken. I think Murphy from Clemson, they added to their pass rush. I think they got, what was their draft? What was it? I was looking at it earlier. Let's see. Real quick. Let's look at Cincinnati Bengals. Because I know the first 3 picks were, Miles Murphy, Turner. Oh, it was Battle from Bama. You know what I mean? But their first 3 picks were defensive picks: edge rusher and 2 back end players, and DJ Corner, GG Turner, and Jordan Back. Second best safety in the draft. So, I think this team is geared for another run. It's only been 2 years since they've been to the Super Bowl. And if we look at those odds, a lot of people have them as a Super Bowl front runner, and as they should. Let's see here. Super Bowl. And they have the 4th best odds. That's a good bet right here, to be honest with you. It's a good bet. 10-1 for them to win the Super Bowl. It's either going to be there in the Chiefs. You don't believe in Buffalo at this point. They got the whole Hamlin story kind of behind them. They had that last year, right, when that happened. So this would be the year that you see Cincinnati get over the hump. Burrow's not scared to go to Arrowhead, right? He's 3-1 against Kansas City. I looked that up myself too as well. So they can beat them in Arrowhead. So for them to win outright, and whoever they face whoever they face in the Super Bowl, they might be favored. Even the Birds. If it's the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Cincinnati Bengals in the Super Bowl, I think Cincinnati might be slightly favored. Maybe. But it'd be like -1 type line. Let's see what that is. Let's see, it's the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Philadelphia Eagles. What are those odds? Super Bowl odds. Plus 2,400. It's not a bad bet. I like it. I think I'm going to put that on the docket. The Cincinnati Bengals versus Philadelphia Eagles. For my bet, small win big, folks. You put $50 on it, win you $1,200. Now these are gambling type bets, right? We're just using what we're seeing in preseason. Anything can happen in a year. Cincinnati still has some question marks on that offensive line. Joe Burrow gets hit a lot. He gets hit a lot. So we like the win total. We like the 12.5 win total. Um, two official bets so far for the Cincinnati Bengals is the over 11.5 and the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, there is another bet here that I really like, is betting all the Jamar Chase stuff for him. I can't get it. I don't get it because they have Higgins there, and Higgins takes a lot away from Chase. If it was just Chase, it'd be different. But when Chase came on the scene, he had almost 1,500 yards, and then last year he was hurt and he still got 1,000 yards. So he's obviously, arguably the best wide receiver, or easily top 5 wide receiver. But these over 1,250-yard receivers, you can parlay these, which is really, really interesting to do. And we'll do that at the end. Just because Chase is in here, I want you guys to take a look at this list and tell me, get a sense of who you guys would pick here as your 4 combinations in a parlay. And we'll put a parlay together with Jamar, leading with Jamar Chase getting over 1,200 yards, 1,250 yards. But those are our best bets for the Cincinnati Bengals. Let's keep it moving here and go through the rest of the list here. So next bet or next team we're going to look at here. Let me get back to win totals, and we'll go alphabetical order here. We'll go back up to the Baltimore Ravens. Now, the Baltimore Ravens, well coached. Lamar got paid, highest paid player in the league. So he's happy. They got Odell. They got the kid from Boston College. The Dobbins issue is something they need to worry about because he's kind of holding out. The whole running back situation is kind of murky right now. The problem with the Baltimore Ravens is that there's 2 problems. One, Lamar needs to finally win in the playoffs. Like there's no nothing now at this point. Like you have to win in the playoffs at this point. You know what I mean? You finally got what you needed. This is the best offense you've ever been around. Like Andrews, Zay Flowers, Odell. I think they have Bateman. So and then if when Dobbins comes back. So, but defensively, they're not as feared as they once were because they don't have the pass rushers that they don't. Now the back end is ridiculous. The front 7 isn't that good, but Humphrey, I think Peters is gone already, but they have a great 1-2 safety combo. I forget the kid from Notre Dame's name off the top of my head, but he's back there. Williams, I think his name is Williams because the Eagles tried to get him. He's back there, both young. And you got a decent number 2 corner as well. So the back end is cool. The question is, can they generate a pass rush from their up front guys? Roquan Smith, McQueen. So they got some names on that defense, but I'm not sure if it's like the known Baltimore Ravens defense that we've all known growing up. So that's why I'm kind of timid on here. The 10.5, the under looks like the better bet here. This is a no bet for me for the Baltimore Ravens. I don't really have anything that I would really bet on them because I don't know what Lamar is going to do. If anything, I'm betting things for Lamar to do, like, is Lamar going to throw for 4,000 yards? Is he even on this list is a question. Yeah. He's 3-1 to bet to throw for 4,000 yards. So let's actually look at his numbers real quick. Actually, and then we'll do the schedule too. So let me bring that up real quick. Let's go to the some comments, man. I think I said what up to you earlier, Jake. Jake, find out why if you still watching, Jake, find out why Chucks don't like me no more. He want to fuck around and poke the bear, man. Okay. Right. You know what? I got to take a second to catch up with y'all, man. Want to, share the show, share my shit. Appreciate if you guys share my shit too. It's all good. You know, why we do it. Trying to grow the brand, trying to get some things popping. Not going to lie, not going to sugarcoat it. We got Chris with a prediction here. We'll retweet that. All right, let me bring up Lamar's stuff. Bengals 12-5, Steelers and Browns 9-8, Ravens 8-5. Ravens are overrated to me. And it's funny we talking about the Ravens right now. I don't think they're overrated. And when I look at these, the formula, if you haven't watched me before, it's always about the coach and the quarterback and how that marriage works. And Harbor, and Jackson have a great rapport. And it works. It just doesn't work in the playoffs. But he's never really had an offense to really do what he needs to do. So this is the first time he's had a passing type offense. I forget the guy who's the new OC, was it Monk or something? I think from the college ranks came down to kind of help out. So you got to see how this all is going to work out. It might not all work out all great, like they wanted to, but I just want to see what his passing is. Man, everybody's on the internet right now, and it's just like it's dragging me down, man. Everybody's on the internet right now. Fucking ridiculous. Let's see. All right, here we go. Damn, Lamar, you only threw for like 3,000, 2,000 yards. I like that prediction though, Chris. All right. I just want to see what Lamar is in terms of passing real quick here. I want to see what Lamar is passing. Okay. Damn, the most he's ever thrown for is 3,100 yards. Damn. That was the MVP year too. Yeah, 36 touchdowns though. Hmm. Look at his rating that year. Jesus Christ. How do you get sacked when you got goddamn fast? In the last 2 years, he's obviously been hurt. So I was just looking at this just to get a sense if 4,000 yards was possible for him. All right, let's look at the schedule real quick. Let's see if we can find some losses. All right, so at Cincy, loss. They probably split one of these. They always play these guys tough. So I say they beat Pittsburgh, but they lose at Cleveland. So that's 2 losses. Detroit's a tough game. Detroit is a tough game to call. I say lose to Detroit. They get swept by the Bengals. Loss here. 4. Lose to LA. That's 5. Lose to Jacksonville. That's 6. Lose to San Fran. That's 7. Lose to Miami. 8. So yeah, around 9 and 8 around there. So when we look back at the list here, like I kind of said before, I'm not betting anything on the Lamar in terms of the schedule, there. So it's only Lamar really. They should at least finish over 500, but for the Baltimore Ravens, no bet for me. All right. Let us go to the Cleveland Browns. So I'm a little bit higher on the Browns than probably most are. I don't think that Deshaun Watson is completely finished or anything like that. He's still somewhat in his prime. They have a really good defense. They got Jim Schwartz over there now as their defensive coordinator. They have a great pass rush, which is always good. Underrated offensive line. If not, you should know by now. They have one of the better offensive lines in the league. I think they have a top 5 offensive line, so that's good. He has some weapons. They got Cooper. I think they drafted a kid with their first pick as well. Um, David Nugano. I forget how you say his name. The tight end is there. You got Chubb there. So it's a solid team, right? It is a really, really solid team. Question marks on coaching, a little bit there, but it's still a solid team. So, and Watson came in cold. Hopefully, more practice, more time with his guys will get some more continuity with the Cleveland Browns. So let's look at the schedule real quick for the Cleveland Browns. Only person I would bet here is Chubb for anything in terms of props. Let's look at rushing props real quick since we got Chubb here. Most rushing total yards plus 600. He's going to get the ball. So he's in the running for this. And obviously he's the favorite to do it, to win it, the title. I'm not sure if I would bet that or not, but the bet is out there. I think rushing touchdowns make a little bit more sense for him. He's always going to have double-digit rushing touchdowns. I think this is a decent bet. Let's actually look at that real quick. Let's look at stats real quick. It's always fun, seeing this shit with y'all. Because I'm not, I'm doing some research, but actually going through the process, and you guys kind of seeing how I'm breaking it down and actually doing the actual live read on it. It gives you a sense of how maybe you guys can tweak how you guys look at bets, or how you guys do your reads. I think it's kind of decent how you guys can get an insight of that. Of that. No, no sugarcoat, nothing, no algorithm, no machine, no AI, no buying picks, just pure me reading what I'm seeing, trusting my eyes and making moves. All right, so he wasn't that far behind Jacobs, and Jacobs had a crazy year. But he already had 1,500 yards. But I want to see what he had touchdowns. Let's go to touchdowns here. I want to see who led the league in rushing touchdowns. I don't know. Henry's always a problem to do that, but they're gonna suck this year. Oh, it was Jamal. The Henry had 13. Where was Chubb? Chubb had 12. Damn, Hurts had 13 rushing touchdowns. Oh man. He had 12. So Jamal doesn't do that. So when you look at this list, he's in the top 5. Elliott won't be there, and Hurts won't be there. I think Eckler makes some business decisions and doesn't give him 13 touchdowns because he ain't getting paid. He's mad. I actually kind of like this bet now. Nick Chubb to lead the league in rushing touchdowns. What was it? Can I look at what? Can I look at it? Was it last year? What was regular 21? Taylor, Connor, Harris, Mixon. Yeah, that was Taylor. Where is Chubb? Chubb only had 8 last year, and he played 14 games. So is his cap? Let's go to 2020 real quick. I thought he was up there one time. Here he is. Damn, that's when Cam was still around. Wow. And Chubb had 12. So, is it worth the bet here? I mean, it's definitely worth the bet. Are they going to be good enough? Let's see what type of rush defenses they're looking at. for the Cleveland Browns real quick. And then we can do the win total here too as well. Wait for that to come up. All right. Let's see here, baby. Let's see here. Sorry, guys. Computers are slow. Everybody and their mom has a device in his house. And I'm trying to give y'all picks. They fucking up the money. That's all I can say. They fucking up the money. They fucking up the money. That's what my post is going to be on Facebook once I retweet. Family fucking up the money. I won't say that. Come on, man. Come on. You're killing me. God damn. Go to some of your comments while that thing loading. Kayvon says Eagles Bengals my Super Bowl pick. It's a pretty decent pick, man. I like that pick. I like that play. Um, I don't think you can go wrong with it. You're taking two of the best teams on both sides of the division and getting 24-1 on your money. That's that's a good bet. It's a really good bet. Just want to say that. Chris, you always betting shit. I have a $5 bet with my coworker. If the Browns go 9 or 8 or worse, I win. If they go 10 or 7 or better, I lose. He ain't getting good odds on that. I'll tell you that right now. You got the better odds on that one. You got to he's got to get a $1.50 or something on that. All right, we got the schedule up here for the Cleveland Browns. So start off kind of tough, man. You play all your division opponents in the first 4 games, and your bye week is really early. So it's going to be a long stretch of games here, which would make it tough. But I want to look at that Nick Chubb and we'll find some losses here. So looking at the first 3 games, the best scenario for the Cleveland Browns would be to split them, to split and go 2-2 coming into the bye week. They might, I think they can possibly beat Baltimore. They're at home. The good thing is 3 out of the first 4 are at home, so that should be kind of good. But it's not like, maybe that October game might be a little bit, kind of wet, but most of these games should be regular fair weather. But Cleveland ain't no slouch to play in. Cleveland's got a good fan base. So I think that 2-2 makes a lot of sense out of the first 4. Lose to San Fran, lose at Seattle. They'll probably split with Baltimore, so lose at Baltimore, lose at Denver. The Chicago game could be a trap game, and then lose the last 2. So that's 1, 2. Calling Chicago a loss, 3. Lost to Jacksonville, 4. Lost to Denver, 5. Lost to Baltimore, 6. Lost to Seattle at 7. Yeah, so actually, looking at this thing, man, they might not. I don't know. They might have to get lucky. I don't know if I like that Chubb bet anymore. Looking at some of these defenses they're going to go against. They're going to go against obviously the division twice. They're going to go against San Fran. You see this, Seattle and at Seattle. Is that that's tough. At Denver, altitude is tough. Jacksonville's got a good defense. Chicago's got a good defense. The Jets have a good defense. I guess it's a no bet now. No bet on that Nick Chubb. I thought we might get something on that Nick Chubb. All right. No bet on Chubb. Let me take that banner down so we can zoom in just a little bit more. Yeah, no bet on Chubb here to win the most rushing touchdowns. All right, let's go to our bets. Yeah, no Nick Chubb here. Might have to find somebody else on this one. Just want to say. Hmm. Revenge tour for Bryce Hall. I don't know about this one. Definitely not Hurts. Chubb will be in the top five, but I don't think tops Henry too much keyed in on him. Taylor makes a lot of sense coming back. I don't think so with Jacobs. Eckler, Barkley's going to sit out. Robinson, no. Pollard, no. Maybe Mixon. I don't know where Stevenson's is. McCaffrey, maybe. I could see him getting 10 to 12 rushing touchdowns. It's a big that's not bad at all. That's good value for him. On a loaded offense too, by the way. I kind of like Hall though. Looking even lower here. Kind of like Bryce Hall here. Makes a lot of sense. Where's Kenneth Walker at? I don't know. All right, let me just not get bogged down with that. All right, let's go back to our win total here for the Cleveland Browns. 9.5. I guess the under makes a lot of sense here to me. I don't think they win. They go 10-7. Um, they might even go 8-9. I want to see what that alternate is for 8-9. Makes a lot of under 8 wins. Getting a little value there under 8 wins, right? For them to go 7-10. But that defense is really good, and that offensive line is good. So when you're good in the trenches, typically you're pretty good. And even if say the receiver got hurt, Cooper, Amari, as he typically kind of does, it's not like Watson hasn't carried an offense before. So, yeah, no bet with the Cleveland Browns. I'm thinking we'll leave the Cleveland Browns off there. Too risky of a bet. I don't see anything likely here with the Cleveland Browns. All right, for our last team on our last looking at the betting number on the AFC North is the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I'll tell you what, I love me some Mike Tomlin, man. I think this number is a respect to Mike Tomlin, of the legendary coach he is. Um, Easily top three coach. You can maybe switch him and Belichick if you want, but I put him up there with the best of the best. Andy by himself, obviously, and then I kind of give Tomlin the nod too. What he's done as a coach is just legendary. To never have a losing season is unbelievable. And 14 or 13 years of how many years he's been playing. So to me, that's betting on history right here. That he's not going to lose. He's going to have a 9-8 record. Not worth the bet, but it's out there. Um, will it be this year? They got a little bit better. They got Joey Porter, obviously the big name that came over, and I think they got a big lineman from Georgia as their first pick. Could Kenny Pickett take another step forward with his, with his progression and his year? Does Pickens come along? So Pittsburgh's always a tough team to play. Really not much more to say. There's nothing sexy about them at this point right now. TJ Watt is up there. So the only bet I would look, we're not even going to look at we're not even going to look at the schedule. The only bet here that I would possibly even look at, because he's always in the running, is defensive player of the year or most sacks. And that's for TJ Watt. He is an absolute nightmare. They got another kid on the other side there too. I forget his name, but I think he had like 13 or 14 sacks last year, and he came on strong. So, oh, they just got they got Judah. Why would they have this guy as regular season sacks? But whatever. But most regular season sacks. Let me look that up real quick. Where was TJ over the years in terms of sacks? I know Parsons led last year. I know TJ's battled some injuries too as well. So we'll see how that plays. Chris said, "Hope Steelers in last." I hate their fans. Why do you hate them so much? They ain't do nothing to you, bro. They ain't do nothing to you. It's funny. Can't wait. You don't want no smoke with that, bro. You don't want no smoke with that Cowboy Eagles talk, man. Really, that shit is dead, man. Like, we're just the better team. It's our time now. It really is. It's just really the Eagles' time now. And, you're always in the conversation, I guess, kind of. But, you know, talking Eagles Cowboys for us is like it's like we can always talk Eagles Cowboys, but it's just like at this point it's just like why? Like you guys are not on our level. So what are we talking about? What are we talking about? I just want to bring up the sack total to look at the TJ Watt. Is TJ Watt a good bet here? I'm trying to think who else is in there. Where is the homie at? There's Graham. Oh, there's Reddick. 6-1. Can he repeat what he did last year? Like he had a phenomenal year last year. I wonder if he can repeat that. All right, I just want to look at the sack. Now, this is a really hard bet to bet. I wouldn't typically bet a sack total, but I'm looking for some value here on every team to even look at. And shit, my bad, y'all. Shared the wrong one. So, damn, JJ Watt had 12 and a half sacks last year. I didn't even know that. TJ was hurt, right? Like, but TJ came out fucking swinging, didn't he? Like, I thought he had like 6 sacks in like 6 games or something stupid. All right. So Riddick had 16, Bosa had 18 and a half, Garrett had 16, Jones had 15 and a half. So we'll see. Let's see what it was in 2021. Yeah, TJ had 20 sacks. See some familiar names, Bosa and Garrett, Miles Garrett up there. Let's see. I thought TJ was on like a tear for a couple of years. Yeah. So TJ led the league in a sack 2 years in a row. It was 19. Okay. And then he was still 15. Yeah, man. Like, he's only 2 years removed from being the league leader in sacks. He had 20 last year. And the year before he had 15. And I don't know what the hell he had last year. Let me just click on his name real quick. This might be a look here. I want to go with the hometown guy. Like I really do want to go with Reddit. I just don't know if they can produce how they produced last year. Like he'll get double-digit sacks for sure, probably 12 to 13. But he was a fucking menace last year with 16. Come on, TJ, come on up. I'm trying to look at your fucking individual stats. Just want to see what he had last year. All right, fuck it. I'm out. I'm not going to waste your time, man, because I'm wasting my time trying to play with this internet up here. Because everybody's streaming, everybody looking at something. When it come up, I'll let you guys know what he had last year. But let's go back to the bet, and then we'll get everybody out of here. People are like the Eagles are far better team. They are better, but the Cowboys, when healthy, always have been hard to beat for the Eagles. Of course, it's a division game, right? Like, there's nobody saying that the Cowboys aren't talented. I'm not saying the Cowboys are not talented. They have a serious team, and they have serious threats everywhere. And Parsons is an X factor, and might be one of the most feared, if not the most feared defender in the league. You can put him anywhere on the field, and he will create havoc. Period. Right? The question for you guys as Dallas fans, and will always be the question, and you guys can be on our side as well. When I say our side, Eagles fans as well, is that you don't trust Dak Prescott. You don't. The best thing he's won is the Walter Payton Award. That's it. He ain't won nothing else. In 2 years, Jalen Hurts has as many playoff games, playoff wins. But, Cowboys are always going to be a contender. They're always going to be a contender. Why? Because they're built like the good teams that are built, and that's from the trenches out. They have a great offensive line. They have a great defensive line. And then all the other players fall in, just like the best teams in the league. Like you said, San Francisco, great on both sides of the trenches. Eagles, great on both sides of the trenches. It's the way of how to win and how to win in this league. So it's always a hard out to beat the Cowboys, but it's just that it's the Eagles' time. Really, that's what it is. It's the Eagles' time now. All right. So looking at this list here, always going to know what Parsons is. Parsons still going to get his. Bosa's a good bet. Garrett is a good bet. It's been a while since somebody won 2 years in a row. I think we can find a bet here for TJ Watt at 7.5 to 1. Hassan Riddick is an interesting thing at 16 to 1. In these bets, it's bet small, win big. But I do think TJ Watt is a pretty decent bet here to go on with our bets from the AFC North. I would sprinkle just a little bit. Me, I have a nice bankroll at this point. So for me to wait for it, I'll put this is a 2-unit play. 2-unit play for me. This would be a 2-unit play. $200 to win me $1,500. I think that's worth the wait. Hopefully he stays healthy. And to me, he's never out of the game. 2 years removed from leading the league in sacks 2 years in a row. So can't go wrong with any of them. I've never bet on defensive props like this before. But I think since we're looking at the division right now, it's worth the bet, and it makes a lot of sense for me. They should be not down a lot, but it wouldn't be surprised if they have to throw more than they have to run. So take it for what it's worth. Just a lighter bet here, for me compared to maybe some of the other bets. We didn't even look at the division, but as you know, oh, wow.
One program that I rely on fully for my business.
Sorry about that. One of the other is the division bet. And I think we already know where I'm at with that. And that's the Cincinnati Bengals. So let's do our quick parlay for that 1,200 real quick that we were talking about. And so far we did the NFC North and the AFC North. Right now, if you wanted to parlay, hopefully you guys got all these bet. TJ Watt, regular season leader, over 11.5 wins, and Cincinnati Bengals versus Philadelphia Eagles in a Super Bowl matchup. Makes a lot of sense to me. So we'll X all these out. Right now, we have Chicago Bears. I know about those Bears, man. That's a gamble. A lot of people got on me. Oh, the Bears, they only won 3 games. Hey, I just said the division's up for grabs. I think Chicago has a good shot. I think it's worth the bet. Pretty much simple. If you don't like it, take it out the bet. It's really that simple. And we have the Cincinnati Bengals. So we're building our division parlay. So far we just did the 2 AFC North and NFC North. Oh yeah, and I think we did our division. We did the Eagles, but I just talked about the Eagles, but you can throw the Eagles in there. So 3 bets so far. If you don't want to keep building the bet, you like that bet for 20-1, take it. If you don't like the Chicago Bears and just want the Cincinnati Bengals on the Eagles, take it. If you want to continue to watch, you can watch here on A2D Radio. You can watch on Money Pop Podcast. Follow me on all social media platforms. Let us build the parlay together, and we'll put in a nice bet at the end. Hopefully, it's a $500,000. That's what I'm hoping for. We're going to make a $500,000 parlay. See if we can make somebody $1 million real quick. All right. So those are the picks right there so far. Now, I think I got to get out of here soon. Let's go with the receiving prompts real quick. 1,250 yards. This is what I was looking at before. So we talked about Chase, Cheetah. That's easy, right? Who else gets us 1,250 yards? And I need somebody plus money. Like AJ's easy. I think Garrett Wilson is a good pick here with Rodgers. I think Ridley's a really good pick there. Judy has been, really, really a lot of buzz about Judy. DK Metcalf. There's some names on here that we need to look at here. But the top 2 are pretty easy. Cooper coming back. Man, I got to look at this some more. You know what? Go ahead and follow me on Money Pop Podcast, and we'll finish this $1,250 parlay bet. Let me get out of here because I'm not sure if somebody else is behind me. They might be, and I might be way over. And that's on me. So, as always, I want to thank everybody for jumping on, showing their support. As always, I appreciate y'all looking out for your boy. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. This is Moss Money. This is Money Pop Podcast. I'm out.